If you're doing 5 things, it is difficult to be profitable in all 5. When I start a new business, I'm putting almost 100 hours a week in that new business. Like seriously, morning to night, I'm putting into that new business to get it off the ground. And that's really what it takes. That type of crazy focus and attention to that laser vision to make it really grow. Are you going to become a developer later on since you know very well the construction side of the business? So George, my goal is not to be a developer. Like initially I did have a goal of being a developer, but currently I'm not wanting to be a developer. If I have to become one, I will. I want to use my skills and maximize on my skills. I would love to find a developer that is good and that is reasonable on their prices, and have them do the development side of things and me handle the investment side of the business. So they do the development, I handle the real estate side, and I have a property management company handle the property management. And if each one of us just focuses on what we do the best, we'll be able to grow together. And I don't need to try to step in my feet into what they're doing. But again, I will do it if I have to. Like right now, I do many things. We have a construction business, we have property management, we have the real estate business, insurance business, the accounting and taxes, the consulting, the mortgage business. We have all these businesses, and obviously I love what I'm doing, but there's a point that if you're doing all these things, there's only a certain amount of scale you're gonna get, and there's only a certain amount of money you're gonna get out of it, because you're not big enough to make big money, a significant return. So at a certain point, it's better for you to scale back, focus on something, get to a certain level of efficiency of scale, get large enough to make the big money. Because if you look at it, you're gonna look back at what you're doing, George, and you're gonna be like, wow, we did so much. And then you're gonna calculate, this is the gross revenue. We did 10 million in gross revenue. But then you look at how much did I net? Well, I only netted like $500,000. And then you could think, well, if I didn't do this, and this, I would have maybe only grossed 4 million in gross revenue, but I would have made $1 million in profit. So you gotta kind of balance it to say, okay, I still did the same number of deals, but because I gave away certain aspects of the job, so-and-so was able to do it faster and better and turn it around and to make more money. Now again, at the same time, maybe you could still do 10 million in deals, but instead of being the developer, you could just be the asset manager and do 10 million in deals as an asset manager, doubling your volume, but reducing your averaging off your gross income. Because again, by being the developer and asset manager, you maybe would have done 10 million. Well, now you're just doing double the deals as an asset manager, giving up the development side and doing still 10 million, but your net profit's higher because you have an efficiency of scale. And now they are getting to a certain level of scale, so they could reduce the costs. You can reduce costs, everyone can reduce costs and increase their profit margins. So makes sense. Like when I opened up my mortgage company, I said, I need to do 10 deals a month. If I'm not closing 10 mortgages a month, it's not worth me opening this company up, because I need enough to cover marketing, covering overhead, covering sales staff. And at 10 deals a month, it's just enough for me to make sense for me to start doing it. Now my goal is to get to about 40 deals a month, and then from 40 deals a month, we're gonna look at closing 100 deals a month. That's my goal. And that's the track for the goal. And eventually from 100, we'll grow larger from there. So it really is, those are what I'm keeping in mind. So remember, sometimes, and I did this, and I'm giving you this piece of advice because I'm trying to help you guys see what I did and grasp it and keep an eye on it so you don't get caught up in it. If you're doing 5 things, it is difficult to be profitable in all 5. Now, if you're an Elon Musk and you have $40 million or 40 million, was it? No, it was like $400 million, whatever it was, when he sold PayPal. And you put 100 million this company, 100 million that company, 100 million, like 3 or 4 companies. Okay, now you have enough money to build a whole team and scale up. And then from there, he also got investor money on top of that. When you're by yourself and you have no money to put into a business, you're now the labor of the business. How are you gonna do 5 businesses, be the labor, be the marketing, be everything, and make a lot of money? It's really difficult to do that. It's really unlikely for a person to succeed. You can maybe do 3 things. Past 3 things, it's not happening. And really past 2 things, you're not really doing much. You know, you're not growing. You're basically having yourself 3 jobs. You know, hey, I'm working, I'm doing Uber Eats, and I'm trying to build an Amazon business. You know, the 3 things, right? But at the end of the day, nothing comes off the ground because you don't have enough time to focus your energy on it. Like when I start a new business, I'm putting almost 100 hours a week in that new business. Like seriously, morning to night, I'm putting into that new business to get it off the ground. And that's really what it takes. That type of crazy focus and attention to that laser vision to make it really grow. It's a baby, it needs that energy. Now, if you don't have that energy, you better have money because you need to pay people to put in enough energy. And they're never gonna work as hard as you. So if you could do 100 hours, you're gonna have to hire 2.5 people to do the same thing you did to get the same result. So that's the big difference. People don't understand. It takes 2.5 people to replace the owner. Now, what are you doing at that point? You're doing what's necessary to become successful. And you're doing what's necessary to make your business successful because it's your baby. You want it to grow, you want it to do well. So what I'm trying to say is if you do too many things and you divert your focus way too much, it's gonna be very difficult for you to be successful. So right now, when I started the mortgage company, I said, if I'm gonna do it, I need to focus this much money, this much time, this much energy to make sure it's successful.